What is up, everybody? Welcome to Durable by Design. I am joined by Crispy Barnett.
What's up? It's been a while.
It's been a while. I have the wrong hat on. It's been a while because you are too busy for me. Stand me up, guys. Stand me up. Okay, so we're gonna do like Crispy likes. It's gonna be nice and quick. So this is a. The thing I'm going to say, you are not durable by design. If you're not durable, if you use an LMS to train anybody anything, that's the premise of today's show. What do you think?
I agree with you. Inspired by a spicy LinkedIn post from Mr. Bullion this morning. Yeah, it's interesting. I think people view LMS and sales enablement as the same thing, and it's very, very wrong. And LMSs are becoming, like, to me, there isn't a difference between an LMS and a knowledge base, which is the same exact thing as having a Google Drive full of documents. Like, it's literally the exact same experience for those that use it.
I'm trying to consolidate my thoughts on this, and here's one thought I have on it. Man, Crystal, I have never in my life ever enjoyed using an LMS. No matter whatever capacity. People have forced me to pretend to watch them. They forced me to lie about checking up. I'm in the military. I had to watch all these things, like just sexual harassment and these, like, I literally had to force people into rooms because they wouldn't do it. I had to sit them in front of a theater. I had to get hundreds of people and said, "You're watching it right now," so that I could check a box off and report up that it was done. So that's my relationship with it. And so when I came into the civilian world, and where, like, it's money and there's not this, like, check a box thing, I never watched. I would just not do it. Like, you could never get me to do it. And it's just not the way I learned. And so I never thought it was. I just didn't do it. And the reason I think it's so ineffective is because it's not the way people learn. Like, it's called a learning management system, but all you can create courses. And where I think LMSs can be helpful, right, is if you're Crispy and I'm somebody that's following Crispy, and I can productize my IP and I can sell a course to you and I can make money. I can see a use case for that, kind of. Like, honestly, I would never do that. I'll just watch YouTube videos because it's the same thing. But, like, I can see a use case for it. I just think everything that LMS stands for, which is productizing knowledge in a consumable way, literally no longer matters. Because of AI, plus some other reasons.
Yeah, it's... Yeah, it's interesting because I think that going back to, like, what I said before, and this echoes a lot of what you said, is like putting things into a knowledge base and forcing people to check a box and stuff like that is very much forced learning, which is not absorbed learning, which is the big difference. And I think that this is where we do a lot of education, even in our own sales cycles with customers, on what does enablement actually mean, and, like, what is adoption, and how do you drive it, and how does it become a thing that's assumed and absorbed versus drilled into you. And very, like, box checky format is very, like, drilling in something into you.
Yep.
And that's not helping you become better on the other side. Because ultimately, like, with an LMS, and I would say with anyone that's like a HubSpot partner or a service provider, your KPI is not, did I complete the course? Did I check the box? Your KPI is, does the end user that went to the LMS or went through my service use the thing that I designed, or the thing that's in the LMS? And many times that answer is no.
Yeah, I'd say the added element, and I'm saying, is a company durable by design? So a service company, their product is people. And that means the fundamental thing you must be able to do is you must be able to recreate people and quality people. And LMS is useful. It is useful. I can create ways and bite-sized content for people to consume it, force them to consume it, and they will be in some capacity better because they'll be introduced to concepts for the first time. It'll be part of their mental model. It will in some way affect how they think about the world. My premise is, like, it no longer is the most effective thing, and it will slow you down. It's not durable. Why do I say that? AI, and this is where I think AI, and I hate AI hype. I use AI so much, and it frustrates me that people talk about AI at the business company level. It is not very effective at the business company level yet. It just isn't. Don't tell me it is. It isn't. I'm just like, I have seen no good real use cases. Where it's really, really, really effective is at the individual level. And so this is why I think LMSs will self-destruct is at this point in time, content is now infinite. Content's infinite. I can create any type of content I want very, very quickly without an LMS.
Yes.
I could even go create my own LMS if I wanted to, unlovable, to be quite frank. It's not just infinite. It's my recall of information is also instant. Content is infinite. Recall is instant. That's what AI does to individual levels. And I control the inputs and I control the outputs. I can look up, tell me this famous person that said this thing. I do not need to go to their course. In fact, their course has probably been scrubbed, put into whatever the database is by OpenAI, deal with it. And then, so like the concept, I just don't think people have realized the era of information that said, which would be knowledge transfer is the only and the best way. And we should just learn to transfer knowledge better. AI has literally debunked that as a strategy because you can do it at an individual level at this point. It is no longer durable. What it will reveal, and this is where I think AI, like this is, and I have a post coming out on Saturday, this will be post this, is I just want to bring up these points and I want you to respond to them. I don't think you've ever heard of this because I was doing the research on this and it just blows my mind because I'm trying to like, guys, be careful. The future is coming and if you spend money on this, you waste your time. Okay. When ATMs, you've heard me, when ATMs were created, it said we're going to get rid of bank tellers. We're going to have fewer of them. They're not going to exist anymore. Did that happen? No. We actually doubled them. When Excel came out, the prediction was there would be no more accountants. We don't need them anymore. No, accountants became more important. There's actually more of them than there's ever been before. When the internet, e-commerce specifically came out, people said there will be no brick and mortar stores. There will be no more retail jobs. That is no longer true. There's actually more retail workers, triple the amount than there was before e-commerce stores. It's crazy because when like robotic surgery, it said we will have less surgeons. No, we now have more surgeons. When AI came out, everybody said, we won't have sales reps anymore. Wrong. What will happen is we will have more sales reps. We have more sales reps. So this problem of how do I train and why is because the authenticity of a human will just matter even more. And you will not like, It's just like you can't go second. So I just want people to get like LMSs will not solve this problem because AI will self-destruct it. It's got rid of the entire premise it exists on. The automation kills task, not the need for thinking humans. And what will happen is, how do I teach a bunch of people? And I'm going to have more people to teach, and I'm going to have a bunch of people that can self-AI themselves with their own content, infinite content, and create. How do I teach them? And that is your competitive advantage. Yeah. That is your competitive advantage.
Yeah. We're thinking on the thread of like, why are LMS not durable, right, for the future, and how is this going to get disrupted by AI? I firmly believe this, and I had this reiterated at both Inbound and like other conversations I've had, but the reason LMSs will not withstand the future is because it's long form content. It's kind of like what you said, which is like, I have to go and watch an entire course to learn about like what celebrity said this. The future of what enablement will look like and teaching people things is going to be as simple as here's the one sentence answer, putting it in the right place at the right time when it's needed. Like that's the big difference.
Yeah. And this is the I think the biggest concept that changes. You were so right. It is, we're going to move from a world where input mattered more than output. And sales is getting more sciencey. We're going to move to a world where sales gets very science driven, and this is our next topic next time. It's going to be very science driven because you will be measuring outputs, and the outputs will then dictate what the inputs are, and it will dictate your automation strategy, your AI strategy and your human edge strategy. Where am I going to put the humans to win? And so your input will change based on that. And measuring behaviors in a system will be the thing that allows you to win. Everything else, it doesn't matter what you do, is just Netflix with the worst UX. I don't care how fast. Like, that's all it is. Like the ability to like serve it and it doesn't matter. It's Netflix with the worst UX. Okay, man. Any last words?
I would think about the intent of what an LMS is if you're building this out either internally or externally for your customers. Like, you know who does this the best actually in terms of having some level of LMS, but they've chopped it up into the pieces that actually make sense is Salesforce. The way they do it back there.
Yeah. So this is what's different between Salesforce and LMS, and this is the difference. They do what? This is what I mean. They have a what? They judge outputs.
Yes.
They have a freaking hard test, and their LMS is not an LMS. They actually have working sessions, and you build, and it validates that you built it right, and you'll learn through doing. And they have outputs that judge, and then they change the inputs so people can get the outputs done well. It's literally what we're talking about, and that's why everybody loves Trailblazers.
Yes.
That's why. If you don't know what I'm talking about, and you're a HubSpot person, go look at just do some of them, and you'll realize how subpar is the HubSpot Academy, which is nothing but one giant LMS that is not built. Sorry, it's just not built for human behavior. Thus, it's not as effective as it could be. That was toned down me for the first time ever.
I was gonna say he's gonna go on he's gonna go on the tangent, but yeah, the task-based quizzes on methodology do not teach you anything. No. The real functional, which is why like we designed our entire cert program around this methodology, which is it needs to be functional in the flow of work at a point in time where it's needed in ways that are actually like meaningful. So like design around a use case, build something real and tangible, not here's methodology or blah, blah, blah. It's so awful to have that experience.
The litmus test in the future, in my mind, will be this. And there is no LMS. Like the idea of LMS just will not exist in my mind because of this reason. The question is ultimately, does this training thingy change behavior? Yes or no. There is no maybe. And so that means it must be measured and it must change behavior. And LMSs simply don't change behavior, nor do they track outcomes of the behavior. There's no mechanism for it.
Yeah.
I believe this so much, I'm building a product around it. And so if I'm wrong, I'm losing lots of money. And I have a high suspicion that we ain't wrong. Okay, everybody, stay awesome. Keep doing it big. And never, ever stop believing unless you're believing in LMS. Adios.